Right off the bat, for some reason, we're in Russia, and Ryan is murdering a bunch of Russian soldiers. God, I always say shoulders. He's murdering some Russian soldiers who are looking for him, and the bad reputation in Russian plays. So that's interesting. Pretty cool actual intro in this episode. You can already tell it's getting off to a pretty great start. I have to comment about the little soldier boy reimagining. They're remaking his character in the eyes of the people, and he was actually helping root out the Kremlins in Ukraine while being in Russia. And they even have a photo of him shaking hands with Vladimir Putin. Shit is fucking wild and great. Soldier Boy is also being given like a presidential medal of freedom, and Homelander has like another weird flashback and a voice speaking in his head with all the flashing lights, and he interrupts the award ceremony by telling everybody that Soldier Boy is actually his father, and it instantly pisses Soldier Boy off. He was like happy for all of 20 seconds. They also have a little lengthy explanation out of nowhere, because I don't think they ever discussed this before, but they talk about V1 and how that's how Soldier Boy survived, is that he has V1 in him, so he can't die to a virus necessarily because it's a different genotype, and their virus that they created doesn't actually attach to that genotype that V1 has, because it just doesn't have any of the spiky thingies. That's the explanation, I swear. This is like the actual fastest immediate setup for like the biggest like problem for this season. And the whole problem is that it's only episode 3, and now we have the boys and Homelander and Soldier Boy and Sage all looking for V1 because Homelander wants to be invincible. And I think they're going to be looking for V1 for like 5 episodes. And I'm not going to repeat myself a lot throughout the reviews, so my reviews will probably only get shorter, actually, when I think about it.
Look at you. Just the softest, wettest boy. You're pathetic. You're nothing at all.
Then we get like a little scene between the boys minus Butcher and Stan Edgar, and Stan Edgar just repeats the plot points of why they need this V1 and why it's important. And I will say, like, it cheapens this season a little bit because we don't have any indication of a V1 at all, and it's definitely the big plot device for this season now. Then we get this weird interaction where like fucking Translucent's kid, Maverick, is just hanging out in Stan Edgar's base. And Stan Edgar lied to him and told him that Homelander killed his father, even though Huey's the one who killed him. And Huey is not handling this very well at all. He also feels immediately guilty. And then throughout the rest of the episode, we just have these banters between him and Translucent's son. I'm not really going to get that into it because I don't really like this little storyline, mostly because it only lasts this episode anyways. But there's some decent lines here and there about it. Homelander finally fully breaks down, thinking about all the times people have called him pathetic, weak, disappointing, their greatest, their biggest disappointment in life, really. And he has like a mental break finally, and he sees his own version of an angel come down, which is just Melanie, and it's weird. I mean, he has like two glowing boobs in his face, and it makes him have an epiphany that he is Jesus, or he's the third coming, I guess. Would that be biblically correct to say that he'd be the third coming of Jesus Christ?
Homelander. Up here. What are you... What in the fuck? Is that milk?
Better. Breast milk from the NICU at Mount Sinai.
Well, what, you asked me up here so I could watch you swim in tit jizz?
Getting back on track from ridiculous ass scenes, we do have a pretty contradictory scene between Butcher and Ryan, where Butcher literally 2 seasons ago would have wanted Ryan to live, and he's now asking him to basically kill himself with the virus in hand to go and kill Homelander, which I don't know how I feel about this entire conversation between each other, but it's just insane, kind of. There's a scene where Deep has a Cybertruck, which is hilarious, by the way, because if anyone in the show should have a Cybertruck, it would be the Deep. And yeah, I don't know how to explain the scene entirely though, because it genuinely makes no sense. But it's just kind of funny actually. And Fred Durst Roland is playing the whole time in the background, so it's pretty great. I know I haven't talked nearly as much about this episode as other episodes, but this episode really does go slower, even though it's a good one. There's just not much happening. The Deep and Black Noir do end up infiltrating their the Stanager's base, and they use Maverick as their way to get in, because the Deep explains that Huey actually blew him up when he's gonna go down there and actually like knock out the Deep and Black Noir and all of them with some gas. But he just lets them inside, and so they're kind of screwed at this moment. And it's pretty funny though. Black Noir actually catches Stan Edgar and he brings him back to the Tesla with the Deep, and the Deep actually does something for once to advance himself in his career, and he throws the methane grenade that Maverick had into the Tesla with Black Noir and Stan Edgar, knocks out Black Noir, pulls him back out of the truck, and drives off without him. Huey and Maverick have a fight scene, and the bald-headed chick accidentally blows up Maverick because she can't see him, and she thought she blew up Huey. And then finally Starlight does something and just insta-kills the bald-headed chick by snapping her neck and freaking out for a second because she thought Huey died. Honestly, pretty good scene in this episode. One of the better scenes. Then we get one of the more the obvious scenes of the show. It was in like the beginning trailer of season 5, if I remember correctly. The Homelander and Ryan face off, and predictably so, Ryan gets his ass kicked, and Homelander beats the shit out of him, almost Invincible style. Doesn't leave him nearly as fucked up, but he fucks him up. Butcher comes by and picks him up. But all around, it's like a faster feeling episode. It was an episode where I didn't feel like I had to talk about as much, and I wanted to show a couple clips in it, so I hope I don't get destroyed and nuked. But it was a good episode overall. I guess that officially ends with Homelander being personally delivered Stan Edgar and hugging him and sniffing him, which is pretty weird, while the Deep looks extremely happy because, you know, he's the Deep and he did something for Homelander.